Hey everyone, welcome back to Coco Caliente, a mother and daughter production where we talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jenny.
We hope you guys had a great Easter Sunday and Easter weekend. The whole weekend kind of felt like Easter festivities for us, right, Mom?
Yeah, we had a nice busy weekend.
And we did, I guess we can start with Easter dinner if you want. Mom went, we had Easter dinner Saturday at my mom's house, and she made enough food for about 50 people, and there was 6 of us plus Arrow.
Yeah, we had a lot, way too much food. And I always do that, and I think we've talked about that before, and we ate it again Sunday, ate it today. I had both the kids over here right now. We ate again, we ate earlier today and tonight, packing some up and sending home, and yeah, we had a lot. So I made stuff different. I did make the typical Easter dinner this year. I let the kids each pick something they wanted, and Nicole picked a salad bar. So she wanted a salad bar with all the trimmings or whatever, like if you went to a salad bar and got salad. So that was what I did for her. So that was a little bit of work, cutting everything up. And
that's what I meant, just to do a salad bar, though. I didn't mean for her to do 10 other things, too.
Well, yeah, but everybody doesn't think. I didn't even eat salad any of the times in the last 3 days. Yeah. And then Jesse, I asked him what he wanted, and he wanted stuffed cabbage. And I haven't made that in a long time, so I actually talked to Google about it to make sure I did it right this time. And I didn't know, I think when I've done it before, I have put the rice in there and had the rice cook in it. I didn't know you're supposed to pre-cook the rice. So I had the mixture and everything right. The only thing that I don't feel like my cabbage, it said to only cook for an hour, and I actually cooked it for 2 hours, and I feel like my cabbage still wasn't soft enough. So I honestly think you should, even though it's said to just boil it till the leaves fall off and wrap them tight and then put it in the sauce. Unless it was the cabbage I bought, it just doesn't seem like the cabbage got soft enough.
Or was it completely covered in, I feel like it needs to be completely covered in soup, was it? Like, that's what it kind of reminds me of, is like the bottom was soft.
Maybe I needed more tomato juice or whatever, but it tastes really good. Yeah. I mean, Dave and Jesse are loving the cabbage. I've been peeling them off because it's not quite soft enough to what I like. So those were the meats we had, and then I made cheesy potatoes.
No, you forgot ribs.
Oh yeah. Then I made 4 racks of baby back ribs, and then I made sweet potatoes, stuffing, cheesy potatoes, homemade mac and cheese. Is that it?
My stomach hurts thinking about it, though, because I'm so full right now.
And I think that was it for. Oh, and Jesse and Ashley brought the deviled eggs, and then desserts, blueberry cheese. What do we all have?
Blueberry cheesecake.
I ordered the desserts.
Sour cream. What are they called?
Christmas or Easter cookies, cutout cookies.
Yeah, those were really good. S'mores bars,
peanut butter balls,
oatmeal. Monster cookies. And did I say M&M cookies and cinnamon rolls? I brought, actually, Jesse, you need to take some cinnamon rolls home because I only had one of the 6 and no one else had any. But we went crazy with the desserts.
Way too many. And Jesse's actually here listening to us podcast. I tried to do a pop-up. It's sibling day. So I tried to do a pop-up, wrote down 10 questions for him, and I was going to have him take because I know you guys all ask about him a lot. And I tell him that I said, everybody wants to hear about you a little bit. And he's like, no, not today. I tried, didn't I?
Yeah, you tried.
And they were really easy questions too.
Jesse, what is your age? Silence. He's sleeping.
He's pretend sleeping. He's literally pretend sleeping because he was looking at me 2 seconds ago because he doesn't want to have to answer any of the questions that we might have for him.
Those were easy questions, but next time we got to prepare him maybe. So we did go to church on Sunday, and it was really good. And long story short for me on this subject is I plan on going back week after week. I'm going to make a routine and habit because Arrow did pretty well.
And we all feel better when we go to church. I mean, I'm a big firm believer in praying. I pray every night, and Nicole is a huge prayer too. And it was actually and Jesse goes to church way more than us, and he actually brought it to my attention 2 weeks ago. He's like, you need to go to church more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, why don't I go? When COVID, it's like we go through spurts, and it's horrible to say. It is like we'll go through spurts where we'll go, and I love to go to church. I love the church. I love Father Nate. I really like going to church. So when he said it, like, yeah, I really don't have any excuse. He goes, I don't care what kind of church you go to. You just need to go to some church. And I'm like, Jesse, I pray all the time. And he's like, no, you still need to go to church. And at the same point, Nicole was feeling the same way about it all. Mm-hmm. And so we did. But what we did this time, it was Easter, and Dave was like stressed. We were waiting 20 minutes, but Nicole and Victor were picking us up, and they have Arrow, so it's a little bit harder.
It's not my fault that Victor decided to only worry about himself that morning. I went and dropped an Easter basket off at a town in Bad Axe, and then I came back home, and he's like, hey, I'm going to run to Dollar General and get snacks before I leave, because he was going away again. And I was like, no, you have 20 minutes until you have to leave. You need to get ready. So I got me and Arrow ready. He changed his outfit like 3 times, asking me what looks good. I still had the bun in from what I woke up with, and just put like a clip under. And I was just steaming, because then we were super late. And no one wants to walk into church, especially Easter Sunday, late, because it's going to be packed.
And it was like... So church starts at 10:30, and we pulled in about 10:26 maybe. And there were still other people walking into church. And I don't even think it started till like 10 minutes after we got in.
Yeah,
so it started a few minutes late
thankful.
too. But they had already decided there's a kids section like where you can, because we didn't know how Arrow would be, like that's behind the glass. And they didn't tell Dave that that's where we were going to sit. It was so packed. But we walked in to sit there, and when we went to sit down, Dave was like not having it. He's like, well, me and you are going to go into the church because... when you're sitting back there, like I looked for 1 second, like I was going to sit, and there's like the plexiglass, and you can just see yourself. Like,
and I encouraged them to go because I wanted them to really enjoy the church, like enjoy the service, right?
Yeah. So Nicole's like, I'm like, it's so crowded in there. So we're like looking around.
Wait, I got to tell this story.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could tell. Victor's like, your parents are fine. Just have them sit. I was like, no, I can tell like my parents' face, like they're not going to be like really happy with this, like they'll be fine. But anyways, so I walked in there, and I was like, I asked this one older gentleman, and I was like, hey, is anyone sitting next to you? And he's like, no one. So I came back to my parents, and I was like, okay, because I called it a bench because it looked like a bench. It was kind of like, it's like the comfortable chair benches. They're still connected, Mom. But anyways, I was like...
They're like chairs.
I was like, I went and asked that guy, and he said, there's 2 seats, or there's a bench there. It's open for you guys. So I watch her through the plexiglass, and she goes right up to this row, the very front row. So she walked past where I told her to... where I asked this guy, and she went, and she just had... There was like a family of 15 in the row.
No, there was 2 couples... with 2 children, and then 2 couples. So 1, 2, 3, 4 adults and 3 kids. And the one was on lap, and he scooted over. Like there was
it was really
for
nice
me and Dave to like sit there, but it was like the front row, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so stressed out. Like,
so I was stressed. I told Victor, I go,
because I was I didn't know if there was baptisms and it was reserved. So I looked at him, and I'm like, is this reserved? And he's like, no, like you're good. So we just like sat like right in the front row, because that was what was, and then like we're facing the front of the church, and then the one she wanted us to sit to are facing sideways, like so like say she's looking at my ear. So like then once we didn't sit in those 2 seats, they decided to go sit in the second row.
Because they took Arrow. And so I was like, we should probably go. I need to be able to see if Arrow's being good and stuff. So we'll go sit in the seats that I told them to take. So the whole time before church started, I'm trying to get Mom's attention. Mom, this is where I wanted you to sit. And she's like, oh. Anyways, the seats we were in were super comfy. They were like padded.
Yeah, they were seats, not a bench. So I was like, I wasn't watching where she walked in, and Dave walked right up to the front row. But anyway, so Arrow was good, but if he's seen, like he stayed with us, but then when he wanted Mama, we had to transfer him back a couple times during church. And then when she had him, sometimes he would start screaming, Nana, and he would wanna, but he literally he talks so much and says so many words that he was pointing to everything in church. And like, he doesn't have a quiet voice. Like we have to work on the quiet voice, because he was like, the candles were burning. So he knows how to like put his palms out so that like hot. So he's telling us.
I heard
and
him
then,
say wah wah.
Yeah,
because
he's talking about the
water.
baptism water, and he's saying water, and then he's asking me if there's fishies in the water. And he
clapped after every time we sung. You know how the church is silent after that, and he's just clapping, looking around. And what he'd do is he like breastfeed. I brought my breastfeeding cover, and then once the song was done, he'd hurry up and fight his way out of my cover and clap and look around and be like, "Why is no one else clapping?"
And like every time I held him, because they have like there was like 4 kids and young adults. A few young adults. There was probably like 7 of them. A couple like that went up and sang
the choir.
The choir each song. And so every time they were finished, he just gave them applause. Like he was just clapping right when they were done. Like they put on a show for him or whatever. But he did do well. And so we'll go back, and if there would have been 4 seats where we could sit together, there wouldn't have been. I think he would have been even better because there wouldn't be going back and forth that little bit that he did. But all in all, it was a really good mass. And there was a lot of kids in the church. I could hear them. I couldn't see them because I was in the front row, but I could hear them all during mass. So, I mean, at least it's a younger crowd, a lot there. So there was a lot of kids in church. So you could hear them. So it wasn't like Arrow stood out. It's just that I felt like he's talking loud because I'm in the front row with him.
Yeah, he wasn't super loud or anything like that.
But yeah, it was good. But I was going to say something. What did we do Friday? Or was there nothing Friday?
No, they came home late. I don't know. You can tell them about your little back scratch, buddy.
Oh yes, Arrow is. Last week when I stayed at Nicole's, I scratched his back once, and now all it is scratch. Like usually he wants to fall asleep on Nicole, like breastfeeding, but he is like now. Last night it was so cute. And actually Nicole came over here last night and they were thinking about staying over here. And I said, well, I'll take him in our room and he can sleep with me and Dave. And then she can sleep. The only bed that she would have been able to sleep in is his crib. I converted to like a crib bed, and like,
I was not game for this.
So she's like, oh, this isn't going to be very... And then when I took him in our room, he like wanted Mama to come lay in there too. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. So then she's like, well, I'll just take him home and I'll stay by myself. But David already fallen asleep. So I said, well, I'll just go with you. And when I got over there and I got in bed with him, he scooted all the way over by me and he's like, scratch back. 20 minutes later.
So cute though, you guys. He had his eyes closed, like, and then he was like falling asleep on her. And then if she stopped, he'd be like, scratch, like weekly, like.
Yeah. So anyways, I think it was at least 40 minutes of scratching because I had to give up after 20 some minutes and have Nicole take a break because his back's little. So you don't even know how many times I covered that back with his scratches.
I feel like it would hurt at some point.
Well, I don't do it very hard.
You do have a good... Mom has good nails for back scratch.
And I was wigging on top of his shirt too. So it was, but he just loves, and it was just so funny because it gives Nicole a big break with because she's, trying to wean a little bit, off, like, or have him do it not being so like, wanting to feed so often. So, and he fell asleep for a good 2.5-3 hours after that, like on my arm before he like scooted. Actually, I woke him up by taking him off my arm. I'm not used to, I'm scared. Like Nicole said, you're not going to roll. I'm just scared that I'm going to like squish him or push his head up under the pillow or something.
Didn't you bed share with me and Jesse though? Yeah,
but it's different when it's your kids because you're used to it. Like
you're right.
I do it daily. I'm not used to it.
So you did do the same thing I did, right? Or did I sleep in a crib?
You slept in a crib and you didn't start bed sharing till after.
I was off
between
the
crib and the going into your own bed. Yeah. So it was like, you were like, I think you didn't start bed sharing until Jesse was born. And then Jesse took over like basically
the baby
crib.
room.
Yes. And then that's when you started bed sharing was like when so it was more older, even older than Arrow right now. So it wasn't at that age.
Now that I did bed share, it's really weird not to, like, it's weird to me to leave your baby in a room where you're not at, by themselves. But I know everyone does it and it's completely normal. But for me, it's just as foreign as people who, look at me weird when they hear I bed share. I don't know.
But, I was honestly thinking about this, and I mentioned this to my mom today because my mom thinks my mom does not believe, she's like, I raised 6 kids and I'd never let them sleep in my bed. And we didn't. We all slept in our own beds. And she's like, you all grew up fine. Like, how there's just different opinions on like bed sharing and stuff. And I was like, you know what? If I was Nicole and knowing Arrow is so like that, I said, he doesn't really know. I told Mom, I said, well, now it's almost like we have to wait till he's old enough to completely understand so he doesn't get up because he doesn't have any fear and like walking around the house in the dark or opening doors or that kind of stuff. I said, because he's never done it, he's going to be really confused because I don't even know for sure if he knows his bed because it's kind of like, it's on the ground so that it was easy for him so he can't fall off. And it's like, kind of like a tent. And I didn't know if he would even know, but what I would have done, or because if I'm still with her, what I would do honestly is her room is huge. And she has a chair by the one, window wall. I would honestly move his bed in there and start getting him to sleep in his bed and just use his whole room. You can because
a playroom,
the rest of the toys in there because her room's huge, like the size of 2 bedrooms put together. And then he can have that, and then he can, go lay in there, and you can take the crib out of there because he hasn't used it. You have so much room.
That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Don't you think that's a good idea? Because then you could kind of even like naps. Then you can get him to start going in there, and you could like put things away in your room.
Or I can lay with him in that one until he falls asleep and just transfer, but I'll hear him if he cries or says my name or something.
Yeah, or he's right there.
I won't sleep. I wouldn't sleep well if because Victor is very adamant on getting him in his own bed. I wouldn't sleep well at all if Victor's like, he has to stay in his room and you have to stay in here. I would have just as much separation anxiety as he would. Because for me, I'm a firm believer on it's just not natural to expect your child to self-soothe, especially at such a young age. Even us as adults, if you think about it, someone's sad, what do? You want to hug someone, you want comfort from someone. They don't isolate you until you stop crying. Once you stop crying as a baby, that means you've given up. So I've just done my research on it, and if anyone wants to shame me, I'm not even going to listen. So
And like you, I don't know. That's a question for everybody. Do you sleep with your doors shut or open? See, Nicole's, and I know you're supposed to for fire safety, sleep with your doors shut for sure. But Nicole shuts her door and she can shut the bathroom. So there's no way, like it'd be perfectly safe, and he'd be farthest from the door if she put his bed where I'm saying. So it would be perfect.
Yeah, and there's a door right there.
Jesse, do you shut your bedroom door or leave it open when you sleep?
Is he pretending to sleep again?
Huh? Ashley shuts it and he leaves it open. We've always left our doors open when my kids were growing up. I leave my door open now. I when I'm staying the night at Nicole and she shuts the doors, it's very, very weird and confining to me. So like I can handle it, but it's just different for me. So I think it's like,
for me, it's I would hear Arrow opening a door, you know. I just feel like, or if someone were to break in or something, the dogs would hear that and more than, I don't know.
She locks them. You open them.
Yeah, it's for safety. Yeah. Ever since I moved out, when I slept here, I didn't sleep with my door shut either. We kind of just had the open door policy, I feel like, here. Everything was just always like...
So does Victor, when you guys had your first house, did you guys sleep with that door shut too?
Yeah, so
maybe Victor's a door shutter.
You know, no, actually we didn't, because we needed the air. We put the fan in the door and we'd blow the air conditioner in there that way to help cool down the house. But, you know, no, I'm the door shutter for some reason, because when he would work 3 p.m. to 3 a.m., I'd be super scared and I would shut the door, and like I needed to hear, I'd put something in front of it so that way it'd fall. If it's just being a scaredy cat, but I don't know. And
I'm the opposite. I like my door open because I literally can see. I can see where I lay in my bed all the way down my stairs if somebody's coming or if there's a noise. And I can grab my glasses and I can eye something up, because I got Arrow some toys like about 2 months ago, and I still don't know how it fell when we're sleeping in the middle of the night, but one of the remotes fell behind his kitchen set. Like, I don't know if my house settled it must have been hanging and it just fell. And I was like, no, but it was going off, and it's like a police car with sirens, and it was like sirens and all this stuff. And Dave's like, I don't hear that good when I'm sleeping. So he's shaking me and he's like, what is that? What is that? And I'm like, I don't know. And the thing is, it got trapped behind the table and the thing. And like, it has like red and blue lights. So I could see red and blue flashing lights and hear the noise. I was looking for my glasses, feeling them. And here Dave had me go all the way down and check. And I'm like, Dave, what if somebody would have been in the house? Like,
why did he send you?
You sent me down there to check on that? Like, why was I checking? But after that, I could not sleep because I was so paranoid about how that fell there that I literally laid awake glaring down the stairs. So if I had my door shut, I'd be really scared. Like, I like to my position in the bed lets me see everything all the way down to the steps.
Well,
I can see if there's a light.
Mine doesn't. So maybe if mine did, I would. But the fact that Dad's done that since we've been young.
Because when he's comfortable in bed, he doesn't want to get up. He's like,
he sends you down, even if, or you know what? So there was
a picture fell off the wall 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, it made so much noise in the house. Yeah, and I had to come search and see in the middle of the night what in the heck went on. He did not get up.
Mom, though, you can't be doing that.
I know. Well, nobody's going to break
now
in
you
here.
have your security system, so you're good.
But yeah, no matter what I got, I'll know. But it's just still, even if you hear noises, no matter what, it's just you hear, does anybody else? I don't know.
I make Victor get up, but he's very hard to wake up.
Dave he's easy to wake up at 3 a.m, when his alarm goes off. He jumps right up. I don't even know half the time. He's so quiet and everything. But as far if there's a noise in the night, he is not moving. I don't even know if the fire alarms go off. I'd probably have to really push him. He does not get up and look when there's anything going on in the house. It's always me. I always look.
So again, if you missed last episode, then you probably didn't hear that Mom has been staying with me, so that's why she's sleeping with me and all that, or staying at my house.
And she said she can try some nights by herself now, but I go anyways.
Not now, tonight, now that you have me all freaked out by those stories. We have been taking Arrow for some play dates, so I have friends that had babies only months, 1 month and 2 months away from Arrow. So it's really, really nice to be able to have play dates. So he's been going to see his friends, Rhea and Evie, and he's been having a really good time.
Yeah, he did. He went last week and then today. Well, last week Rhea was just there and today it was both girls. So I think he was confused because they look a lot. They're really close in age and their sisters are moms. So they look a lot alike. So I think he's thinking, oh, 2 Rheas, because we still he still hasn't said the name Evie yet. He's just Rhea. But he had a really good time with them. And both times when we left there, we were not even 3/4 of a mile down the road and he just passed out asleep. He was exhausted because they have a big house and he just runs back and forth. And the best part about it is Nicole and Rhea's mom are super good friends. And so they get to visit. And then the grandma, which is Jacqueline's mom, and me are super good friends, and we have lunch dates and stuff. So we actually get to visit. So today the kids would run back. We were in one living room sitting, and Nicole and Jacqueline were in the other living room, and the kids would go back and forth between hanging out with them and hanging out with us. And your food.
Jesse's trying to leave.
Jesse's leaving me. So I packed him up food. I wanted to make sure he takes it.
No, not that. It's right there, Jess.
Take that one for today. Which one is it?
That one right there. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want any desserts?
All right, thanks. See ya.
What about some peanut butter balls?
No, I'm good.
I got those for you.
I'm good, thank you.
Alrighty. Talk to you later.
All right. So, I just wanted to say that I'm excited that Arrow's he's playing with
that. We're actually going through with it and being good about going, and all of us, like I said, we're all enjoying it because we all get our fix of. I get my fix of another grandmother with them, and their family is as close. Their mom and daughter are as close as me and Nicole are. So we have so many similarities in our lives, and so it's just really nice to talk about.
She bed shares too, and it's kind of as if it's not even a question. I don't know. It's just so weird. like how similar we are, because it's hard to find people that are kind of just like you in a small town.
And the kids love their grandma and grandpa too, and the grandma and grandpa love the kids and like, you know, take care of them all the time too. So it's just really like nice to, and then, you know, to get notes, advice, and just talk about it. So, cause we, like I said, everything, and they're building a new house right now, the parents. So they've been living with them for since COVID pretty much. So they've been living in the same house, all of them, since I'd say about COVID, right? And they're pretty close to getting out now. And I think they're actually going to be missing each other because they're pretty
But they're
close.
literally just moving like how many feet down it's still on the same property.
It's probably a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
But you can see it it's like a quarter of a mile. It's on their property still, but I would say that it's about that. But still, it's not going to be the same as being in the house.
What's crazy is like their dream was like our dream is to all live on the same property, just like have houses all around, like say on like the same 20 acres or whatever. So I'm really happy for them because that's literally what they're going to have. And their kids can just, hey, go run down to grandma and grandpa's house and like get out of here for a little bit. And I don't know, that's awesome. And the other siblings might go.
And actually they made a film. It's called Bad X.
Yeah.
BAD. And then the X word is AXE. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it on all kinds of platforms, right? What can you watch?
Yeah, I think it's
now?
about to be on Hulu for free soon.
But otherwise, it's been on.
It's been in theaters
all over, on theaters all over.
All over, and then I think you can get it on. I think is it Amazon Prime? Victor bought it on a platform at home too, and I just see it pop up, so I don't even know what platform it is, but you can just literally Google it. They made the short list for
the Oscars,
which is crazy because it's just an independent film, like a documentary.
And it's about their family and their family's restaurant and everything through like what was going on, like with during the
like COVID and like the political and politic type things, and
it's got all their family. Their family is actually. The whole film is about their family. It's really them playing.
Yeah, because what it is Jacqueline's brother he's a filmmaker and producer and things like that. I guess I don't know.
Him and his wife.
Him and his wife. I don't know the correct terms because so anyways, that's what they do. And so because of COVID, they came home.
They live in New York, so they came home.
So they came home and he had his camera on, so he just kind of started filming, and that's how it happened, which is crazy because like a lot went down and he caught it all on film, which like it's really for them.
And like how they, their restaurant is their life and their livelihood and their money, and how like you couldn't only takeouts for a while. Things were shutting down. Like it was how they survived and how, their family
and
closeness and their dynamics.
And they're a minority, family in this area. And so it touches on that as well. So it really opens your eyes to a lot of things too. And I think a lot of people can relate or, it's just good. It's a good conversation opener for sure.
Yeah. So if you haven't, seen, heard of it or, check it out.
So I want to talk about, I've had what was my first week without Victor like? So it was not as crazy as I thought it would be, but I am taking my mom away from my dad at night, which is harder on them, right? It's a little hard on dad.
Not if he goes to sleep first. And when like last night he went to sleep first and it was super easy because he gets up at 3:00 anyway. So it's easier. Okay, I'll be honest. It's harder because I'm used to sleeping in my bed with my pillow, but it's easier on me because I don't have to set an alarm to like check on you or whatever. And so I like to just wake up there because then if Arrow gets up early, then I could play with them or he can get up. But like today, they were still sleeping and it was 7:45. So I just snuck out of the bed because I looked at it was like 7:30 when I got out of the bed. I looked, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's 7:30 already. I'm going to head home. So they were still sleeping. I got back here at 7:45 and they were still sleeping. Then she got up and until we went over to play date, they just played outside and you guys did your thing or whatever. So it works both ways. Sometimes it's easier
because does Dad's coffee pot just go off on its own, right?
I set it for a certain time, which I got to do that as soon as I get done podcasting. Yeah, his coffee pot.
So then when you come home, is your coffee in there still?
Yeah, and it's still warm.
Oh, that's good.
So then, so I like to drink coffee at my house because I'm used to my pot, my creamer, and all that stuff. So like when I sneak home and drink coffee then, and then I guess tomorrow, I'll watch Arrow over here.
So yeah, we're coming up with a better schedule. We're going to try.
Last week it was just crazy because we just got back from Florida, and I still have one small suitcase that I haven't unloaded. You got all yours put away now?
I don't have any of mine put away.
See, so that I think that's what it was. Like he literally left.
Mom was like, Mom, what you think you were super, super helpful. But I really didn't get anything done in the house last week except for on Friday. You got it cleaned, yeah. Yeah, I got it cleaned. But it's you guys.
You cooked all week.
So also, I want to touch on this is all kids are not the same. So when I go see other kids or I talk to other moms, some kids are so chill, okay, and they can entertain themselves. My child cannot. My child wants your attention. You are his friend. But if he's over with Rhea or something, he's with his friend, doing his own thing. It's crazy. So people are like, how are you going to be able to handle two if you can't handle one? I think it would be a little easier, honestly.
And he's just so used to just us all talking, because I think it's even cute. He's funny because tonight when we were eating dinner, Dave was showing Jesse something on his phone, and it could be something like a food plot or seed that they're going to buy. It can be the most boring thing on the thing. And he let me see it. Let me see it. He doesn't like to be left out of anything. He wants to see what we're talking about, and he'll say say if it's a turkey, he'll be like, oh, bird or whatever he's going to call it, a duck or whatever, but he wants to see everything. I can't just show something cute. Nicole something on my phone. If I showed her a picture of something on Facebook or something, he says, let me see it. And then he tries to say what it is. He wants to see and be involved in everything. But when he does have kids, he runs and takes off and plays. So it's really nice. But I actually asked Jesse, because Jesse had Easter with us on Saturday and was here all day. And then Sunday he had Easter with Ashley's family. And that's my niece's actually child. And she's 4 months, I'd say, younger than Arrow. Mm-hmm. And I asked Jesse, I said, who's easier? I said, how was it? Evie, is she I said, how is she compared to Arrow? And he says, oh my gosh, she's so good. He goes, not that Arrow's not good. Arrow's super good. He says, but you don't really have to watch her. You just put her down and she just stays there and doesn't get into stuff and doesn't you don't have to constantly chase her. She doesn't get, he said she's so easy. He's it's a big difference. He said, I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it's the boy thing, the girl thing, but he's Arrow gets you tired. You got to go, go, go. Cause if you're not watching him, it just takes, literally sometimes it takes two people, because if one turns their head for a second, I walked in the house today because we were outside and Jesse said he was ready to eat. And we did a little Easter egg hunt even today because we didn't finish. With a little kid, you can only do so much at a time. So we took a few out there and took the golf cart out there. And we said, let us know when you want to get down if you see an egg. And so we let him play because he just thinks that's fun. So we did that today. And then Jesse said he wanted to eat. And I have 2 steps walking down my deck. And I literally just walked in to the house. And I said, okay, I'm going. I hear, I turn around and he's almost there's 3 adults out there and he almost just walked right off the steps, gonna fall, and just caught him. I was like, you guys, you cannot take your eyes off him for 2 seconds. He literally.
No, he flies off the bed and thinks it's funny, and I barely catch him sometimes because my back's to him. He just really is not. He doesn't have
that fear in him right now of very, very much stuff. So he will, if he found a mask, a Halloween mask that was here, he hands it to me and he wants me to put it on and chase him around the house. I don't know. He's definitely my kid's kid, because that is just what I had, Nicole's child, because that is how she was. But it's just, he literally wanted me to put it on 4 times, and it's the ugliest mask ever. And he wants me to put it on and go say boo and hide around the corner. And he laughs, and then he'll want to chase me. And then he wants me to you didn't see this, and he wants me to put the mask on the dogs. And then he really laughs because they look really funny. If you put it by their head, I don't actually put it on him, but I put it by their face, and he thinks that's really, really funny.
Yeah, he loves to laugh. He's a goofball.
Yeah, he just laughs and laughs. Yes. Yeah, yesterday when we were at my brother's house, they said, their one dog, they said he's the little one. They have a lot. They had so many animals there, but he said, don't let Arrow buy this one. I don't think he'll bite or whatever, but is Bean a boy or a girl?
Boy.
A boy. He'll bite or anything, but he doesn't really like kids or whatever. So he was coming by Arrow. So my brother he didn't even do anything, but he like touched his butt like he's getting like it made it look like it was a spanking, but it was like just for him to walk forward. So Arrow laughed forever, and then he kept like saying spank, and he like he thought it was so funny. And then he got home and he remembered, and he's seen Paris and Beyonce, and he wanted to do the same thing, and he started laughing.
Yeah, he loves to. He just thinks it's so funny if he's
like spank.
No, but he'll take like any stick or whatever and just chase the dogs with it. Is this normal? I feel like should I be worried? Because
but he's smiling. He's not like hurting him, but he wants. But he thought the spank thing was funny. Giggling. He's like giggling, like he wants them to like run, and he wants to chase them.
He wants to rile them up. And he doesn't do it to like my big dog, big lab. He does nothing to, because the dog comes by him and stuff. And he doesn't do it to Twix either. He has a different relationship. I think it's
because Paris, the dog yesterday looked just like Paris and Beyonce, and it's grouchy too. And I think he thinks Paris and Beyonce are so grouchy that he likes to like rile them up, because they bark at him.
I will say they all get super jealous of each other. Like if the dogs are on me, Arrow's put them
and when
down.
Arrow's on you, the dogs are jealous.
Dogs, yeah, so it's hard. I will say it's nice.
Almost like a sibling rivalry.
It's nice when you spend the night, because then I can cuddle the dogs actually for at least an hour, because I feel bad. They're getting old. They're going on 15 in a couple months. In June they'll be 15, and they're just kind of like, what the heck happened to my mom? You know.
And I that's why I said to her. I said, maybe Victor. I asked her. I'm like, because she never gets to like to be with the dogs or whatever. I'm like, Arrow doesn't lay like on Victor like he does on me and like cuddle me up. She said, no, he doesn't. When they're both in bed together, he's edges right to her only. But like when I'm there, he spends half of his time by me and then half of his time by Nicole. So I don't know.
He does nap
but
with you, though.
It might be because I lay down with him when I nap, where Victor rocks him. Mm-hmm. So Victor sits. Victor doesn't lay with him and nap, where I will go lay, because I just think it's more comfortable for Arrow to sleep into a bed than in my arms, So I'll just go into the room, and if I have to do something on my phone or my emails, like I just do that while he's sleeping, or sometimes I'll even catch something on TV that I'm watching, and sometimes I'll even nap. It depends on what's going on at that time.
Yeah, and I guess that wraps everything up. But a couple things that. So anyways, with Vic being gone, it hasn't been too crazy because my mom's been helping, and I kind of like only having to clean up on Fridays. And
your house was still really clean today.
Yeah, and I got to eat cabbage soup every day. I get to sleep with the window open, and I feel like my cat definitely gets extra love, and I feel like me and Arrow are bonding even more, because now, I mean, it's 24/7 and it's usually kind of like that, but at the same time, Victor would kind of get to like that playtime before bed, and now, that's like either here with my parents, or it's just different. Like him and I feel like I didn't know we could even get closer, but I really like.
He's getting older and funner too, though. So
I told my mom, like, as long as he's not hungry and not tired, he is the funnest person to be around. So much fun. He cracks me up, and so I love it so much. And I'm just learning his body like a little bit more with everything. So he's.
And this is totally off the subject of that, and then we're going to get off here. But something interesting today, and I'll keep you guys updated on it. Jesse, a while back, I'm going to say about 2-3 months ago, he bought a DNA like kind of test for. What does that box over there say? Like what it is, but for a dog. And
see what breed he is.
Because we adopted Champ, so we don't even know his age or anything. So tonight we finally did the swabs, and then I'm going to send it out tomorrow. So I think that's really interesting. That ain't
going to tell his age, though, is it?
I think it tells a lot of things about them. I'm not sure. That's why I have to look at the box. I'm going off because I didn't grab the box here. I just thought about it right now. So and it was hard. Champ did not want to open his mouth and give us that saliva swabs today, but you send 2 of them in, and it's supposed to tell you quite a bit about your dog and their background. And we were wondering if he's pure lab and like all that good stuff. So I'm excited to find out some stuff about
Yeah, that is
about
cool.
him once it comes in. And
I kind of want to do it for my dogs too, because my dogs are the cutest dogs ever, and everyone says, "What kind are they?" And then I tell
it must
them,
tell you like a percentage.
yeah,
of each.
because must have a different percentage of like Shih Tzu than other dogs, because their snouts are like longer. They're not flat. So I just would love to know what they actually are, because. Sorry, guys, I am tired. I didn't get a nap today. So what does it say?
Actually, I don't know what it says. It doesn't say on this box what it is. Jesse sent it. It says it is a wisdom panel, essential dog DNA collection kit. So I guess I'm not going to know. He must have knew when he looked it up and bought it, but the thing on it doesn't tell me what it's going to tell me.
But I know it tells the breed.
Yes,
because that's why Jesse bought it. Because they don't know. They had a lab prior to Champ before Rain, and they just look a little different. So Jesse's just curious.
It talks about breeding, so yes, it must be. It might just tell you that. So we'll find out, anyways.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.